Hello, this is Joe from ShopTo, and this is the ShopTo Gaming Toe. Gaming Toe? It's not Gaming Toe. It's the ShopTo Gaming Show.
Come on, you've had a few days off and you've already forgot how to talk.
God, I know. Episode 10. It's episode 10. Just let me finish that sentence before I forget where I am. It's 2016. This is the first show of the new year, so Happy New Year.
Your show.
Happy New
Year to everybody.
I'm your host, Joe, and I'm joined by our host, Dan.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's it. We're here.
Back to business. We've had our little rest.
Yeah.
But you've had our rest from talking about games to actually playing lots of the games that we actually really want to play, and now we have to play lots of other games now.
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks, hasn't it?
Lovely, yes.
I mean, we were back at work last week, but I didn't really see the point of doing a show last week because it was a bit quiet, and it was a bit like kind of ease ourselves back into it after a few weeks off.
Stuff. I enjoy it because, I mean, it's this time of year and also that summer break is a chance to play one game solidly, not have any reviews or anything in the way.
Yeah, no, you get that.
It was on a good deal. I think the DLC came out, all the extra bits and pieces, and had a really cheap deal on the Xbox sale.
Yeah.
And I went to see it and bought a second-hand copy for about a tenner.
What game are we talking about? I missed
Arkham Knight.
Oh, Arkham Knight.
I know you weren't a massive fan, but I'm loving it.
No, I've still got it. Maybe I should go back. But surely you don't like those tank levels. They're just atrocious.
That's fine. I remember you saying quite a lot about how much I think it's just it needed to do something different from the first two games.
Yeah.
Ignore the Origins.
So it decided we'll do something different, so we'll just do something crap.
I liked it, actually. I think it adds a nice little bit of puzzle solving.
Nah, it's terrible.
You need something because it's an even bigger world to play around in. I think they need something else just to bring something to the game. I thought it worked really well.
I think you had too much eggnog.
That was quite a dry year this year. It was quite scary. Not on purpose, just knack.
Oh, I had enough. I didn't need drinking alcohol, and that Christmas cake I made, there was enough brandy in that to keep me going for a few weeks.
There's a lot going in there, yeah.
There's a lot of brandy in it. Oh, it was nice. But yeah, anyway, so it was a good Christmas. I've been playing Battlefront a lot. To be fair, I kind of got a bit fed up with it in the last week. I've not played it for a week or so now.
I kind of drew off a little bit because I was playing the same over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I had to change.
I'm level 45 now, so I'm quite pleased with that. That's quite a high level for me in a shooter. So I persevered for quite a long time. I do have the season pass, but there's been no word of the sort of what content we're actually. Although there's been
really, by now there must be something.
Yeah, no, although there's been word of kind of what we'll be getting. I'd have thought by now they would have said, "Oh, expect some news soon about it appearing or whatever." But there's been nothing, so that's kind of got me a bit down. I mean, you'd have thought they could say, "Right, it'll be here soon."
Well, it was thought because they're holding back because of the film and they didn't want to give any spoilers, but now they're quite clear in saying they're staying to the original kind of Star Wars era, not the more modern Force Awakens characters. So there shouldn't really be any reason why they can't just come out and say what's coming out, which does worry me a bit. I mean, it's EA; they're not going to. Well, they can mess it up, but I'm sure they will. There's a lot of money riding on this. But I found I've kind of drifted away from it just because. Though I love the casual nature of it, it wasn't enough to hold me onto it. I got a lot of gameplay out of it. It's a bit too casual now. There's like bits where like you think you're getting headshots and you're not. I just felt it wasn't quite tight enough for me now. Good enough though. Yeah,
it needs to. I just wish they'd hurry up and see what's coming. I'm sure I'll go back to it. I'm surprised I didn't get fed up with it sooner, to be honest. I'm quite pleased I've managed to stick with it for so long.
It's not your sort of game, so yeah.
No, shooters usually aren't, but I really like it. But I'll probably play it more. It's quite a nice game to just jump in now and again, but I need to just go, yeah, give us some more content, give us some...
Same time, I've just seen the film then anyway. You going to see it yet?
I've always seen it once.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch it again on Tuesday, the proper big IMAX.
I do want to see it again, I will, eventually. Okay. This is the ShopTo Game News, so let's go on with it. The ShopTo Game News. There's a few stories we missed over Christmas. There's 2 dogs barking outside the door. Stop barking, dogs. This is a professional show. Come on.
Yeah, really?
Yes. Okay.
I'm trying to mute the cat purring in the corner.
Okay. The stop button now. Thank you. We'll just pretend it's a game in the background. That makes it more acceptable. Okay. So yeah, we missed a few bits of news over the. I was going to say the summer. Jeez, it did feel like summer, didn't it? Never exactly get any snow here. It's a disgrace. So where's the snow? Sake. Anyway, I'll eventually get to say what I'm trying to say. We did miss a few games over winter, Christmas time, and that was that Uncharted 4 got delayed by about 5 weeks. So that's quite a big story, so that's why I wanted to mention it. And also the PlayStation 4 selling 35.9 million it's up to now. So that's two quite big deals, really, isn't it?
Especially for Sony. I mean, it's quite impressive sales that are going on there. I mean, how does that compare to the Xbox, or do they want to tell you?
The Xbox we hear is roughly about 18 million.
Still pretty respectable, to be honest. I know I mean, when you're talking millions upon millions, then it's, there's a lot of money involved there, but it's still a very high number.
I mean, that 18 million is higher than, if it is 18 million, it's higher than Xbox 360 was at the same time period, so it's very good. It's just the PlayStation 4 is flying 21.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think, considering I've hardly turned my PlayStation 4 on, why do you think that is?
I turn mine on all the time.
Yeah?
I think it's because it's a better console in terms of looks and usability, stuff like that.
It's funny, actually, I find that with my Xbox. It's weird.
Oh, but you got it.
No preference.
I don't know how much people bring it down to looks. I mean, because the PlayStation 4 is a nice looking console, isn't it?
You can't see it. It's just black. It's hidden away.
Yeah, but it is a nice looking console, whereas the Xbox just looks like an old sort of cable box. So I don't know if looks comes in. Yeah, I can't see that coming in yet much.
Do you think it's still brand recognition with Sony, where Xbox?
I just think the PlayStation's always been a more popular brand. I mean, I think PlayStation 3 kind of screwed up a little. Plus, it went on sale a year later, so you could hardly compare the two. When PlayStation 3 went on sale a year later, and also if you think about it, PlayStation 3 eventually caught up with Xbox in sales.
Yeah. Eventually, I think they've also kind of managed to break into like the living rooms as well. You look at things like Sony as well, actually, fair enough, with the Walkman. Everyone referred to a personal stereo as a Walkman, even though it wasn't, because that was their name. I think it's the same with the console.
I just think PlayStation...
They called it a PlayStation, irrespective if they're looking at an Xbox or Mega Drive. Still, some people say, oh, you're playing your PlayStation.
I just think the PlayStation still got the sort of gaming mindset. When two consoles get released at the same time, sure, the Xbox flew off 360 flew off the shelves, but would it have flew off the shelves as much if the PS3 had been released at the same time? It's hard. I mean, you don't know, do you? The fact is, this time round, they both released at the same time, and the PlayStation's outselling at 2 to 1. Yeah. So maybe it's just that. Is there better
deals in there? Maybe, do you think?
I don't. They were both roughly the same price when they launched, weren't they? I mean, I think the 360 might have been a little bit more, might it, because of Kinect. But now it's cheaper. But I think when they both launched, the Xbox One was slightly more expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like most people that I know have brought PlayStation 4s. I mean, my cousins are both massive female gamers, are well into their gaming. Their consoles was of choice a PlayStation 4, one each.
Yeah, I think everyone just loves it, and I don't think it's really weird. I mean, because if you think about it, PlayStation 1 sold a ton, PlayStation 2 sold a ton, PlayStation 3 maybe not so many because it was a bit of a rubbish message, but it still managed to sell 80 million. It's still right up there. It's either sold more than 360 or it's a right even.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think PlayStation 4 this time got their message spot on, whereas Xbox kind of screwed up, so that probably didn't help them. So obviously they're starting to recover from that now, Xbox, but I think it's probably too late. In terms of this generation, I can't see the Xbox catching up with the PlayStation.
I don't think it will, unless there's some massive revolution in, not necessarily technical stuff, but just a game that will just come out of nowhere and blow everyone away. That's what they need.
Yeah, but
not it's just a rehash of an old, like not more Tomb Raider, not more Halo. Something new and original, because Halo was a massive seller for them back on the original Xbox, and they need something like that. just to reinvigorate why people look at them.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, PlayStation's always been the best seller in Europe, always. So the only place they could really eventually catch up would be in America, and that's not really going to help. I mean, I think they're both great consoles, don't get me wrong. I just think the mindset's with PlayStation, and I think it's going to stay that way this time round. That's just the way it's going to be, I think. And
I'll stick with my Xbox.
At least until the Nintendo NX comes along, and if they actually manage to do something special, then maybe it'll slow Xbox One and PlayStation 4 down if whatever they've got planned for this NX is pure outstanding. But I do think
something fantastic, doesn't it? Really?
I think it's their last chance as far as consoles goes, because they screwed up with the Wii U. If this one goes wrong, I don't see them releasing another one.
They've made so much money from the Wii and the 3D and the Game Boys. They can probably make consoles forever.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think. Yeah, but their shareholders won't stand for that though. But I think if this one doesn't get well received and sells as poorly as the Wii U has, then we won't see another one from them.
Well, the fact they've given rights to certain games or sort of licenses to mobile phone company was interesting.
Yeah.
Last year.
I mean, although have they released that game yet? I don't think it's out yet, is it?
I've heard anything, but
I did hear what the game was, but I forgot now. That's how memorable it was.
Yeah.
That it just kind of left my head straight away because it's just terrible.
Japan game is on a different level, especially with mobile stuff. It's just there's just so much going on there.
It just didn't sound that great. I was just hoping they would do like a Mario, even if it's a spin-off or something. Just take one.
There's got to be. There's no way you can make a Mario game with touchscreen, but you can do a spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if they'd done some sort of spin-off that were amazing with touchscreen, I mean, others do it. What's wrong with them? I mean, Tomb Raider does it. Tomb Raider Go and that Hitman Go, and they're proving really popular and they're making loads of money for Square. So what would be wrong with doing a spin-off?
Are they good though? They're making money, but are they good?
They are meant to be really good. I've not played Tomb Raider Go, but it got one of Apple's Game of the Year. So it's meant to be a really good game. It's coming to Vita as well.
Yeah, but don't forget there's a Minecraft 2 game that came out recently that was nothing to do with Minecraft.
Yeah, but this one was... This Tomb Raider Go was official though, and it's meant to be really good. So, I mean, as long as it's made for mobile, and if MD can do it, surely Nintendo can.
Well, you know, they've revolutionised how we use, how we input controls onto the TV screen, be it with motion or just with the classic NES right through to the N64 control pad. They were amazing what they've done there. So if they could just sit there and look at a screen and say, what can we do? I'm sure someone's got some ideas.
Yeah, they need to get it right anyway.
Yeah, like I've always said about Nintendo, it is quality. You pay for the quality as well, and there's a lot of time and effort involved in that part, even before the game's even really considered.
I'd say, I mean, the Wii U, it's a decent enough console. I don't really use it much. I mean, I stick to my PlayStation 4 mainly, and my Xbox is sort of secondary to that. But I do think they're all good. I wouldn't have them if I didn't think they were good. So, yeah, there we go. Right, okay, let's move on. There's quite a lot of news actually. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 owners are to get exclusive content for Lego Marvel Avengers. Now this is DLC based on Ant-Man, which includes a ton of characters, and then later on in the year, I'm sure the Ant-Man's first, and then I think later on in the year's coming, God, I forgot. Hold on, let me get my brain in gear. So obviously that 3-week break didn't do my brain much good, did it? It's gone boo boo boo, the light bulbs come on, not done. Captain America Civil War, that was the other one. That's the one coming first. That's available at launch, and that includes 9 characters featured in the movie, including Captain America, Iron Man Mark 64 armour, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, Falcon, War Machine, Scarlet Witch, Crossbones and Agent 13. So that comes out exclusively for PlayStation when the game comes out for free.
Cool.
And then there's a second pack available for free, which is the Ant-Man I was talking about. It's the Ant-Man character and level pack. So that includes 11 characters. And you can ride around on the Ant as well.
Cool.
Ant funny. And there's a free DLC level as well in that as well. So that's cool. So yeah, thought I'd mention that. The Lego Ghostbusters is out this month.
Hey, so you're waiting for?
Yeah, I was quite looking forward to that. That's for the Lego Dimensions, so that should be fun. Okay, right, what's next? More news. Sort of EA Access related news. First up is that it's launched on PC as Origin Access. It's not quite as good because I don't think they have as many of the sports games on PC, so I think the vault's a little empty compared to the vault on Xbox One. But it still has a decent amount of games in it though. And
but isn't that reflected quite well in the price though? Isn't it quite
$3.99 a month? But that's about the same as EA Access.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, right. I've not got access.
And related to that, you'll be able to get early access to the games like you do on Xbox. So you'll be able to get early access on PC. And related to that is Unravel, which is going to be one of those early access games. You'll be able to play the first 2 levels of it. Now, because you can play the first 10 hours of a game. Well, because this is a smaller game, you're not basically playing the first 10 hours. You're playing the first 2 levels, and you can just keep playing them over and over again for 10 hours, basically.
It's a good little taster, isn't it?
Yeah. So, there we go. Psychonauts. That's coming to PlayStation 4 this spring. I think it's one of those PS2 upgraded originals where you get the trophies and it scales at 1080p rather than being a brand new release. So I think it's more like a reworked release. That's coming this spring. I can't say for 100% sure that's the case, but I do think that's what it will be.
Did you ever play the original?
No, I didn't, so that should be interesting.
It's always one of the games that everyone says about it. I was like, nah, I never got around to it.
Psychonauts 2's coming out as well, because that was successfully funded, so that will be out, they reckon, I think they said about 2017, so expect to see that next year. And obviously that's like a proper sequel, so that will be pure or set up HD graphics, trophies, all that malarkey, so brand new game basically. So that'd be good. I need to play the first one first before I can consent about that, whether it'll be good or not.
These games you working on the Vita as well, or is it just on the PS4? These backwards compact games.
I think it's just for PlayStation 4. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Those Star Wars games that came out with the console, they're on the store now. They came out the other 3 of them came out this week, I think. So might need to try them, but they're quite expensive. So I don't know. It depends.
What's expensive? How much do they cost?
I think it's $7.99 or something.
Oh, that is expensive. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Unless they're obviously they're upscaled, sort of rendering at 1080p, and they come with trophies as well. Yeah, but so obviously a lot of work goes into that to make that happen. So I don't know. I might try the Jedi Starfighter though. Is that going to be good? I don't know.
It was great on the PS2.
Yeah, so I might give that a go because I quite like games like that.
It's a very good game actually. Yeah.
Okay. Next bit of news: Homefront: The Revolution has been dated for May the 20th. I've seen a little bit about it. It looks a bit. Oh, it's alright, I guess. I mean, it's one of these games that's kind of been. It was being made by Crytek, and then Deep Silver got the rights to it because it was THQ.
That's right,
wasn't it? And then Crytek bought it, I believe, and then Deep Silver bought the rights to the game, but told Crytek they can keep developing it, and then they decided they were going to develop it instead. So Deep Silver's developing it now. So it's been in the mill, really, that game, but it's finally got a release date, so we'll see how it turns out.
It's because that's the first one. I think I played it. It was a bit underwhelming considering the premise was really good.
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, I kind of remember it. It's a while ago, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It could be just another first-person shooter, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's probably still on my shelf somewhere.
Probably. But what I'm looking forward to the most at the moment is this DC Universe Online coming to Xbox One.
Oh yeah. Well, you've played it quite a bit on PlayStation 4, haven't you?
No, PC. When it first came around, I played an awful lot on that. I didn't go back to it for a long time. I think actually kind of when it went free to play is when I stopped playing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But now it's coming to Xbox One. That's quite tempting to get back in on that.
Yeah, I think it's quite boring. I don't get the appeal of it. It just feels like you're running around a big empty world.
Well, that was the problem. I think was coming to the end of me playing it was because it was just repeating the same old, the new content. You have to get big groups going, and the guilds can be pain sometimes to get organised.
I wish they'd hurry up and bring EverQuest next. I absolutely love EverQuest. So if they bring EverQuest next to console, I'll be playing that. Although I don't know if I want to, because it's one of these games you just kind of sink into and then that's it. It's like you stay there, sitting there in front of a computer forever.
But the DCUO was actually fun because it felt a bit more like an action game with an awful lot of MMO kind of sensibilities around it, rather than just a point and click kind of game. It's the first game I went to the hassle of connecting the control pad to the PC, because you played it all on there. It was great. It was like console gaming, bit of a massive world. So yeah, bring the Xbox One is good.
Yeah, that was actually one of my next stories I was going to mention, so that was good that you mentioned that. Well done.
I thought you were talking too much.
Yeah. Okay, this War of Mine, the little ones, is headed to consoles this month. That's one we'll be reviewing, actually.
Oh.
We're also reviewing Resident Evil 0 and what was that other one? Banner Saga. When are we going to do Banner Saga?
I put it on last night. I fell asleep playing it, so probably a day or two.
Yeah, okay.
That's not a bad mark on the game. I will say that now. I was very tired. I had a massive burger, and the music's quite sort of floaty, and there's lots of talking, and it just drifted me off to sleep.
We'll get that ready for next week then, shall we?
Yeah.
Early next week.
Yeah, I better do some moving soon, so yeah.
We'll do it on Monday or something. Okay, so yeah, look for that on Monday. Look for another one as well soon. Resident Evil, I think, in it.
Okay.
And then we've got this War of Mine. This is the other one I'm talking about. The embargo for this is the 20th, I believe. So,
what is it? Well, obviously it's embargo, but what is it? What sort of game is it?
I mean, I looked at it. I looked at a video of it because it's on Steam. It's a PC game, which has been out for quite a while.
Right.
And on the actual new game, it's got this. What did I say? The subtitle was the child.
The little ones.
The little ones. Is based on children in war, so you kind of they still. I'm trying to think how I explained it. It's your responsibility to sort of maintain their health, and it's a bit. From what I saw of it, it looked a bit like Fallout Shelter.
Right, okay.
So you're kind of responsibility. Yeah, well, this kids bit is just an extra bit. It's like an extra bit for the new game where it's based on the kids. So you've still got I'm pretty sure you've still got the bit where you need to help everybody else survive, but this is a new sort of level where you need to help the kids survive and stuff. It's like during the daytime, hostile snipers will prevent the survivors from venturing outside, it says, so it gives the player time to craft tools from gathered materials and stuff like that, and then at night you go out to scavenge and stuff, so it kind of sounds like Fallout Shelter as well, sort of. So yeah, it's that sort of, it looks quite interesting. I mean, I've never played it on PC, so it's a bit hard to know for sure, but we'll have a review of that on the 20th, whenever that is. That's in about 6 days time, so that's sometime next week as well, so quite a few reviews for next week then,
Yeah, there's a lot coming through.
So yeah, so next week will be fun. Okay, what else? Ratchet & Clank's dated for April 20th.
April, yeah.
That was good. It's the week before Uncharted 4 now, but luckily it's a budget title. It's got about £20 odd, I think. So it shouldn't affect it sales too much, I would hope. The fact that it's coming out a week before Uncharted. It does look great. I kind of just seeing the gameplay of the game kind of makes me want to watch the movie.
Right.
Because I think the movie's coming out
That's soon, isn't it?
Round about the same time, aye. So, looking forward to that. It does look good. Gears of War, that got moved, so that's coming this autumn now. Moved closer. Gears of War 4, that is. Is that one you'd look forward to, Gears of War 4, or do you think Gears of War's kind of finished now?
I'll certainly enjoy playing it again. It's got to be so impressive that they've really got it out, do some amazing stuff with that new game.
Yeah.
It can't just be a rehash of what's come before.
But it probably will be, but just shinier, won't it? I don't see how...
More blood, more heavy men scream at each other and grunts.
Yeah, I mean, by the time it got to Gears of War 3, I'm thinking, I've had enough of this now. Although I did enjoy Gears of War 3, I have to admit, I played the story, enjoyed it, but...
Yeah, actually, Judgment was great, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, but I just think by the time it's getting a bit old now and tired, I think it kind of... But if Microsoft bought it, and this is their first Gears of War, so who knows how long it's going to keep going on for.
Well, yeah,
I guess they just need to kind of say, right, let's rehash it and let's start again, sort of thing, and make it new. So we'll see how that comes out. We've not seen much yet, have we? Either.
No, I remember a bit about it at E3. That's about it, really.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a lot more.
Oh yeah.
This year, definitely. Okay, Quantum Break, another Xbox One exclusive. That's close, says Remedy. I think that's another one due in April, I believe. April, let me just check.
What kind of announcement is that? It's close. Is that right?
I don't know. I guess they're just saying,
Don't forget us, by the way.
It's close to being done. Team is pretty tired, but inspiring to see the camaraderie. The guy said on
don't
Twitter.
Forget, I know Uncharted's coming out, but we've got a game coming out as well, sort of thing,
Yeah, I don't know about Quantum Break. I mean, I think it could be very good, but it could be very bad. So
50-50 then.
Yeah, it's one of those games we don't know a lot about. So we know enough about it.
Can't it? And it seems to have changed a lot since the first time I saw it a few years ago. On the E3 announcements.
Well, it was meant to match up with this live action TV show and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
there's been a lot of failures like that, hasn't there? The whole TV linkage thing. I mean, the Halo one didn't really pick up so well. Then Powers on the PlayStation Network, did that actually happen in the end?
What's that?
Was it Powers that came out on the PlayStation Network, that TV show they made?
It did, but I don't think it came out over here. For what I remember, I think it only came out on in the US. So it's April 5th for Quantum Break. That's the date we've got now. So, right, last bit of news is that Oculus was priced.
Oh yeah, that came out. That was the price, wasn't it?
$599 or £500 minus shipping. Add shipping to that, I think you're up to $574, I believe. So I mean, and they have to ship it or you're not getting it, so call it $500 all you want, but you can't just walk in the shop and buy it. If you want it, you have to get it from them, so it's $574 roughly.
Why aren't they releasing it retail?
They probably will eventually. It's probably just because it's early and they've only got so many units, and they're only Oculus. Do you know what I mean? They've not got the sort of infrastructure. I don't suppose that.
I just can't see this working. It sounds such a hotchpotch kind of effort.
Yeah, and then I mean you've got that, but then you need to have I've got quite a good gaming PC. I mean mine isn't that old, and mine won't run it.
Yeah,
because my graphics card isn't good enough. I think I've got a GTX 670 or something, and you need at least a minimum 940. I mean, I think otherwise mine would run it, but that would mean I'd need to spend £50 for a new graphics card before I could even, and then I'd have to buy that. I mean, you're getting close to another £1,000. I mean, it's
serious money to put down for playing a few games that might look amazing. Granted, but at the same time, is it really worth it?
Yeah, but then PlayStation VR comes out. I've already got PlayStation. All I need is the headset. The headset's probably, chances are it's going to be, I'd go for about $350. I can't see it being any more than that.
If it's more than that, I think it's going to struggle.
Yeah, but I think $350 people
consider it's a second option, isn't it? It's like, do I put more money into my PlayStation 4? And that might damage the PlayStation.
I mean, I think $350, 36 million PlayStation 4 owners, even if they get 1% of them.
To be honest, £350 with a ton of demos bundled in with it, and you're laughing.
Yeah, so
A lot of demos just to show what you can do.
If it's more than 350, my interest would just disappear completely straight away, I think. So I think, and even at 350, I mean, because I'm a big gamer, 350, and because it's technology and I love technology, it would definitely appeal to me. I don't think I'd be able to stop myself, but more than that, nah, not for me. Because I mean, like I said on Twitter, at the moment, all it's on is glorified indie games, in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I do like indie games, but I've never really been the one to sort of pure wax lyrical about them and go, oh, look at this, how amazing that game was.
Once they start selling, the bigger companies will start putting money into creating more games for it. I mean, in theory, the technology's there. The interest, I think, is there, but it's got to be the right price. And again, it could really change how we play games. I mean, I'm not a fan of waggling joypads in the air and standing up, but just sitting down with total submersive 360 view would be a game changer for me. But it's got to be well priced.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. As much as I love games, like, say you had these sort of weird games they're releasing for, like the Office one or whatever, these pixelated games or whatever, as much as I think pixelated games are okay, I don't really want all this new technology we've got to play pixelated games, do you know what I mean? I want to play impressive looking stuff.
Don't forget, that's going to take a long time to create these games. It's going to come out overnight.
I know. There are a few that look quite good, like the Eve Valkyrie, which is the sort of space shooter one.
I hope they could retrofit some games with it. That would be lovely.
Yeah, Eve Valkyrie's kind of made for VR as well, I think. So that looks really nice. And there are a few that look good that are coming out at once. The ones Eve Valkyrie, I think, comes with Oculus, and so does this platformer one I forgot the name of. I can't remember the name.
A platformer?
Yeah, it's a sort of platformery character thing. I don't know. I've no idea how it works, but it looks quite interesting. And obviously, I think if Sony can make No Man's Sky a VR launch title, they'll be laughing, and bundle it with PlayStation VR. I think that would do well. I know it's not been announced for VR, but it seems certain it's a VR game, doesn't it?
It does point towards that, yeah.
So imagine that VR and bundled in at launch.
I'm also hoping that it's not, though. I think I would like it not to be VR.
Yeah, but it might be both.
To be able to play it as either would be nice.
Oh, you can definitely play it without VR. There's no doubt about that. But I think it could potentially be both easily. And I think if they bundle that $350 with the PlayStation VR, I think they'll shift quite a lot of units, because that's quite an anticipated game. But I guess we just need to see. It's all kind of speculation at the moment, isn't it?
Would it be a universal release, do you think, or would it be Japan first, then America, then here, like the old days?
I think they have to do it universal, to be honest. Because I think they need to I think if anything, Japan would get left behind.
Yeah.
And then it would be Europe and America. But I think they have to give it to both of us at the same time, really. But I guess it just depends how many units. It could be quite limited at first, because I think there's only so many of them they'll be able to make.
That's, yeah, first. I would worry. Yeah.
So we might have to kind of wait and see. But I'm curious when they're actually going to announce the release date for it. I think it might. I'm sure there's an event coming up. Game Developers Conference, GDC. Don't know when that is. It must be pretty soon. But it would be possibly a good place to talk about it. That's March 14 to 18. It's quite a big event. Is. It's sort of in San Francisco, I think. It's so I get the feeling they might even have a conference round about then to announce the dates and talk all about it. Like remember what they did with PlayStation 4, where they had this specific event just to talk about the launch of it and to basically announce its existence.
Well, it's an exciting year still to come. I mean, aside from a lot of games, there's 2 pieces of tech, the Nintendo and the Sony, still to be announced, so that's great.
Yeah, I think Sony says VR's coming out this year, so they're going to have to announce when it's coming out soon. So I think watch this space, because I think we'll be talking about it in the ShopTo Gaming Show again very soon. Very soon. Okay, so, geez, we're fine here.
Okay, bro.
Anticipated games. I've got so many things I wanted to talk about, but we'll just skip one and then we can always talk about everything next week. Anticipated games for 2016. Is anything sticking out for you? Anything you're really looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 3.
I think for me that and No Man's, but I think Dark Souls 3 is going to be I think that's going to be my happy place for quite some time.
Yeah. Uncharted 4 for me.
Yeah, sure.
It's probably my most anticipated. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else, but I can't really think at the moment. What's what? Come on. My brain isn't anything else you can think of.
Anything else, I'm more focused on Dark Souls.
It's only because I'm thinking of the what do you call it? The sort of upcoming ones, like Uncharted 4. Obviously, you've got Quantum Break coming up, and you've got Lego Marvel Avengers, and you've got Plants vs Zombies 2, Garden Warfare.
Oh yeah,
these are all quite upcoming releases. And what else? I'm just trying to find isn't it? I'm looking forward to Street Fighter 5's coming out. I mean, that's not really for me. Is that something you be interested in?
No, Street Fighter 2 was a highlight for me. I've never really gone much into it since then.
Yeah.
And the Marvel vs. Capcom games, but I just not really feeling the new ones. But I know they're amazing games. I can't fault them. Got a lot of people well into them, just not for me.
Yeah. Oh god, I can't think what else is coming out. Last Guardian, that could be good.
It could be when it happens.
I don't know. It's not. Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn. That's definitely anticipated for me.
What's that one?
It's this Guerrilla one, Sony.
Oh, okay.
And what else? Gran Turismo Zero is a sort of that could be good. I'm not really big Gran Turismo fan usually. A Crackdown 3, if that's coming out, then that could be exciting.
Right.
That will probably be anticipated by me if it's coming out, because I quite like Crackdown. Also, there's so many. I mean, there's Mass Effect.
FIFA? I'm sure there's a FIFA coming out. You like that, don't you?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've not played much FIFA 16, though. I've not played it a lot. And I found it quite hard to get into this time now, which is a bit odd. Did you get into
all the Ultimate stuff that goes on, or
maybe it's because Rangers aren't in it though? Because Rangers aren't in FIFA, and I always played Rangers and FIFA, so the fact they're not there, maybe that kind of ruins it for me a little. Yeah. But they'll be in it this time round, I'm sure of it. And also, Mass Effect might be out, Mass Effect 4.
Well, yes.
So if that's coming out, I'll well look forward to that. And also, there's the new Mirror's Edge, which looks quite interesting.
Do you reckon there'll be some DLC for Grand Theft Auto?
Possibly, there's rumours of it. And then also, what do you think of that Ubisoft one, For Honor or something? Have you seen that? This is sort of, it kind of reminded me a little of, what was that Xbox One launch title? Rise.
Oh, the Rome one.
Yeah, that For Honor kind of reminded me of that sort of thing. But I don't know about that game.
I'll look at that one. I've heard that one. I actually picked up Rise the other day quite cheap because I did fancy playing it. I think I started enjoying it again. Yeah. I don't know though. It's a bit dodgy, is it not? That seems fine. I think because it had the hype of the whole new console coming out, I think it was a bit of a letdown. But I think going back to it is actually quite a fun game.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm not concentrating. I was just kind of thinking.
Trying to read these games, aren't you?
Yeah, I was trying to read them, so I might be going there a lot. If I'm going there a lot, that's why. While I'm trying to think in my brain what's coming out. There's so many coming out. Oh, it's just crazy amounts. This year's going to be. I mean, Sony alone's got an absolute ton. That's why I can't even think what's anticipated, because there's just so many.
The Nintendo's quite light, but they've got some good stuff coming out. Obviously, you've got the a couple of Zelda games. There's a Metroid one on the is it 3DS for Metroid one? Star Fox. Anything else from Nintendo?
No, I think they're
being Zelda, it's a Star Fox.
I think they've been quite quiet. Anyway,
there's a racing game that came out for them late last year, early this year. Seemed to be a bit like a rehash of F-Zero, so I think it's quite interesting. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I didn't. I'm not sure. Okay. User questions. Don't know why I've came up with a wee theme tune there. This is user questions. Yay! First user question is from Mike Fox at Turbo Geek. It says, what do you make of VR? Well, we've already kind of talked about that, so we'll skip that one. But he's got more questions. Do you think Xbox One sales can catch PS4?
No.
We kind of already answered that as well, didn't we? Favourite game not yet released? Don't know.
It will be Dark Souls. I think that will be my favourite game.
Yeah, mine's will be Uncharted 4.
It will be for a long time. That's a good month in there. I think it's losing myself in there. I
think Uncharted 4, and I think Battlefront could become my favourite game again if the DLC's good. So, yeah. Okay, Michael asked question: how much do you think VR will cost, and will ShopTo stock such an item? Oh, pardon me. What two games are you really looking forward to this year? Uncharted 4 and Crackdown.
If you say about the VR stuff there, have you tried the Google Cardboard?
No, it's quite tempted to try that. Because
Yeah.
all you do is plug your phone in it. Have you tried it?
I actually put one on Amazon order the other day. I'm waiting for it to turn up.
How much did you pay for it?
It's not even a tenner. It's a couple of quid. So I thought I'll pay that because it's cardboard, and it seems quite easy to sort of fold and to create this shape for it. But I downloaded the app and I tried it without it. It didn't quite work, so I thought I'd definitely get one.
What app did you download? Because there's quite a lot.
There's a game that seems to be in the woods, I think.
All right, you need to send me the link to the one you got.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just an interesting start. I've heard no one talk about it. I was just scanning through stuff about VR and it popped up and I was like, where'd this come from?
I'm just curious to chat. There's all different ones. You can get really expensive Google VRs where they're about 20-30 quid and they're made of plastic and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the genius of it was they wanted to create something that was pennies to make, which I think is a great idea. So all you have to worry about is having a phone, a piece of cardboard that you can wrap around your head, and then the game to create it, which is great for game designers out there, so they can make amazing VR worlds for knowing that it'll get to as many people as possible. My only concern is, I mean, there's so many different phones out there, different sizes.
Yeah,
surely that would affect it. But I'm looking forward to getting that in the post and giving it a go. I think mine comes with a little bit of Velcro that you can wrap around your head.
Yeah, I'll need to look, because they do have quite a few on Google, on Amazon, on different retailers, so I'll have a look and see.
You don't know how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, where was I? Right, two games you're looking forward to this year. You already said Dark Souls.
Yeah.
What was your other one?
No Man's.
No Man's, right, cool. Another question about VR. Regarding VR, it's rumoured that the HTC Vive will be $1,500 and the Rift is known to be $600. Will any of you be taking the splash and getting one? Do you feel they are going to be a fad and die due to price or become a household item? See, there's quite a few questions in there. I'll probably take the splash, but I won't be getting any of those two, the Vive or the Rift. I'll be getting PlayStation VR if it's a reasonable price, say $350 with a game bundle.
I think I'll be sticking with a company that I know and trust a lot, rather than a company that's just alright. They're probably just as trustworthy to people that have been using it for years, but it's just the support behind it. I think there'll be more there.
Yeah, but as far as the household item, I think Google Cardboard could actually help in that respect.
Yeah.
Because if people really like that and enjoy that in their phones, that might be a sort of entry point for them to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to grab the better one because this is great. I'm going to grab Vibe or Rift or PlayStation VR. So I think the fact Google's trying to get people in at the sort of bottom level for really cheap is something that's really interesting. So I would kind of recommend to everybody to go out and get a Google one.
Well, if the plans are there to make your own, I think if you've got a bit of cardboard, you can make them yourself.
Yeah, so I'd say just go out and get one, try it. I mean, a few quid, if you like it, then you might love. You can probably times that by 100 for how good it will be on a console or a PC. Then can't you?
So that give you a rough idea as to what to expect from the new VR stuff. But again, it's all down to how the creative teams make these new worlds for us to play in.
Yeah,
that's the big difference there. I mean, when you mentioned about a platformer, it's like there's nothing worse I can think of in my head than a 3D platformer. I mean, am I running around the house, jumping up the wall, or am I using the control pad just sitting down and using my head to look around the world? You know, how does that work? And even driving games, I think the idea sounds great, but I would think it'd be an absolute nightmare with a control pad in your hand when your reaction when playing a racing game is people sort of tilt their heads, don't they?
Yeah.
When you're playing a racing game, you take a corner, people tilt, they lean back, they push forward to get more speed. It's just your body reacting as it would in the real world. So with a headset on, the whole camera's going to shift, and that could really throw you off. So I don't know how they're going to combat that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, next question. Where about we? I have one. I don't know his song, but it just says I have one. This may be a little...
I have bank account in South Africa. Would you mind giving me money?
I know what he's saying. I have one. This may seem a little thing, but do you think Microsoft will announce a wireless headset, as I'm sick of the cables everywhere? He's probably replying to someone else in the comments or something. I mean, the one that sits over your ear like a Bluetooth headset.
Well, I've got like the little beach ones and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can get all these other ones. I don't know if they'll bother. It doesn't seem to be their priority at the moment, anyway. Possibly in the future. That question was from Sactimigic. That's how I'll pronounce it. Craig asked question. Finally, backwards compatibility. Do you feel Sony have missed a trick and will bring it out this gen, or do you feel they'll stick with PlayStation Now? Which he ultimately feels will fail. I think they'll stick with PlayStation Now. $12.99 a month.
Yeah, cash cow. It's money for them, isn't it?
And the good thing about PlayStation Now over the Xbox backwards compatibility is that PlayStation Now can be played anywhere. You can play it in VR. If you don't have a PlayStation, you can use it on your TV.
So this $12.99, is that you can play any game on their list?
Yeah, any game on the list.
Before you had to play a game, you had to rent a game. So they changed that now, I take it.
Well, $12.99 you just play, yeah.
But see, I've not used this at all. I thought before Christmas there was this whole thing where you brought a game and it was yours for a few months.
Yeah, they changed it all now. It's $12.99 a month.
I didn't know that. This is not advertised.
So I think it's just a bit like Netflix now, where you pay your $12.99 a month and you can play it.
I think that's still a bit expensive.
Yeah, I think they could bring that price down a little bit more, but I think they will. But like you say, if you don't have PlayStation and you've got PlayStation Now on your TV, then at least it's an option to allow you to play all these PlayStation 3 games, and there's some pretty good ones.
I think there's sort of pluses and bonuses to both. Pluses and bonuses, that's both the same thing. Pluses and negatives to both sides, really. The PlayStation, you don't have to have any discs. You just play the game straight away. Whereas on the Xbox, you can have all your old games. You can go to a car boot or to a second-hand place and buy a cheap game, but you have to have the disc in the console to play it. So it works well.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about it, if say Xbox, not all the games is there, are they? So say you don't only say there's 10 games, you think, oh wow, I want them. You go to a car boot, you get them £2 each, whatever, 20 quid. And then you play them. But with PlayStation, there's got hundreds of games there. You're paying $12.99. So
I would like them to do like some proper rare ones. I think that's where the danger is of the Xbox, where Sony can do some really old games that are really hard to find and like rarities from across the seas.
Yeah.
The Xbox one, you're restricted to what's available on the high street. I mean, there are some games out there. I would love them to do like your Marvel Oh, crikey, I can't think of it again. I'm sorry, it's out of my head. But there's some games there that you would never find in the shops anywhere, or they're so expensive. Why would you pay so much for an old 360 game?
It's possibly that will eventually. We'll see how that works. So,
I hope so.
Next question. My question is about Resident Evil 2 Remake. What sort of game do you believe will be built? Will it be over the shoulder, back to the original style, which he hopes it will?
What's this?
Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I thought it was just going to be just reskinned.
Do
you know?
No, I'd have to look that one up. I'm afraid I don't really know. I probably remember writing about it at the time.
Yeah, I thought Resident Evil 2 was just going to be just the same game as it was, but just reskinned. But if I'm wrong, I hope not.
Let's have a look.
I'd rather it be that.
It's built from the ground up.
Oh dear.
So obviously we probably don't know a lot about it yet. Whether it's
from the ground up, then likelihood is it might well be the Resident Evil 4 way of doing things.
Yeah, it's full from the ground up remake, not a remaster. So it's more speculation than anything else. Do you think it'll be over the shoulder?
The Resident Evil game that was remade from the ground up for the GameCube was still exactly the same game, the same camera angles. It just looked much better.
Would you rather it was over the shoulder, sort of the
No,
original
not at all. The fun of those older games was the way the cameras were positioned and things like that. That it added a lot to the suspense and the fear of the game, because the game was directing you. Whereas over the shoulder is a very different sort of experience, because you could look all around you, so it's not as scary, I would say.
Yeah,
which is what I found with Resident Evil 4. It wasn't as scary. It was a brilliant game. There's a lot going on, but it wasn't as scary compared to the games that came prior to that.
Yeah, because he says remake and we've looked it up, and I remember now that it's built from ground up. I probably wrote that news story, it's just been that long ago, but I believe they'll stick. I believe they should, or I hope they will stick to the sort of original style.
I hope so.
I can't see them changing it much in that respect.
They've done that with the other games. They've done 5, 6 and the Revelations 1 and 2 and all that. That's all over the shoulder.
They know if they put it over the shoulder, people who played the original are going to get annoyed about it, so why would they change it?
Yeah, but I mean, they can get annoyed as much as they want. I mean, if it's what people want.
He also asked about Dead Space, saying, do we believe that there'll be a revival or just a super version of the last generation games? Now, Visual are currently working on Star Wars.
Game, aren't they? So looking forward to that.
I heard rumours it's going to be a Star Wars, something to do with Han Solo, maybe based on his character. And I mean,
it'd be nowhere near as scary as Dead Space, but
and also that because the woman from Uncharted, the writer from Uncharted's working on it, they reckon it could be like basically a Han Solo and Uncharted style sort of thing. But it's open world.
Space.
But it's an open world adventure, so it could be just like a sort of Uncharted open world style Han Solo adventure. That kind of
energetic, was he?
No, it's going to be interesting.
And running away from people, getting lucky. He wasn't much of a.
It's going to be interesting, I think. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it. It's, I mean, if I was talking about this the other day, actually playing Battlefront, it was, you see the graphics, you think, these graphics on any game would be amazing. Just any game in the Star Wars universe, just using this game engine would be fantastic. All they've got to worry about is writing a good story and getting that bit right, because the graphics are done now. Yeah,
exactly. They'll be using the Frostbite engine anyway, the Battlefront.
Yeah, why not? It's there now, it's made. They can make hundreds of games, I'll be happy with that, as long as there's enough variety in story. I mean,
yeah. It's going to be good. Right, okay, next question, last question from Turnip Word. Would you have backed any games on Kickstarter? If so, which have you done? If not, is there any reason you do not back any? He backed Shenmue.
Cool.
As it only cost £18 for the final digital PS4 version, but he also backed the Yokas game and got burnt when that fell through. So
this is my worry. It's about the whole being burnt thing. I've seen a lot. I've been to a lot of very lush sort of announcements for Kickstarters, and thinking this game's looking great, and then within a few months nothing happens. It's like, oh well.
Yeah, I backed Battle Chasers.
Oh yeah.
It's just Joe Madeira, obviously.
There's some things in there that you can't knock back, like the Shenmue thing. It was like, yeah, it's gonna make it.
Well, I had to back Battle Chasers because I just love Darksiders so much, so I couldn't resist.
Yeah, the guy puts a lot of effort into his art and to his craft, so why not give him a bit of support? I'm assuming, sort of THQ, because they don't exist anymore, he's probably without a studio, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to. I'm looking forward to that one because I backed it at quite a higher rate as well because it gets me all this extras. I get the PlayStation 4 version, but I think I get some extra stuff as well.
It's just having the patience as well, though. You forget you're starting right from the beginning, so you've got a long, long wait for a game to be made.
Yeah, exactly.
And that could be quite worrying.
Oh, I'm getting tired now.
So these Kickstarters, do you pay up front or do you pay once it's completed?
You pay once it's been successfully funded.
Oh, right, so as soon as they hit their target, that's when you pay?
Yeah.
Right, I see.
So the Battle Chasers successfully
So
hit
what's
its
to
target.
what's to stop these people from just taking the money then going, oh, it failed, sorry?
I don't think there's anything that stops them doing that.
That's dangerous.
So that's a bit rubbish. One more question from the same person. With the rise of multiplayer only, what are your thoughts on third-party publishers closing servers?
Scared.
Yeah, me too.
Very scared, because it's going to happen to some great games. You one day I might go, oh, I fancy a bit of Battlefront. Oh, I can't because the server's shut.
I was thinking that's just getting a bit online only digital sort of titles, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm so glad Xbox backed away from their online all the time policy, because that really was my worry. There's no stopping them in a few. Obviously, it wasn't going to happen in a few years, but who's to say later down the line?
Yeah,
there's going to be a point. That is a huge worry for me.
It's scary, but that's one of the things I was going to talk about next week anyway. So we'll go deeper into that next week, I would say, about the servers and stuff. So that'll be next week's topic. So in that respect, if you have any questions about that, then feel free to leave a comment about it.
Yeah, riveting conversation about servers. But you can't wait for that.
Yeah. Well, it is something quite interesting to talk about.
Oh, well, considering what's been going on with the PlayStation Network and stuff over Christmas, yeah, it's quite interesting, I think, to at least hear people's thoughts on it.
Okay. Right, out next week, we've got we're just going to say out this month because there's not many. We've got Resident Evil 0 coming, review for that next week. Obviously, get the Lego Dimensions Ghostbuster level pack. I'm going to get that, so I might just talk about it a little bit when eventually it gets here. I'll just maybe see a few things about the level.
Maybe if you could.
Yeah, I might do a wee unboxing for it, but I'll certainly talk about the level once I've played it anyway.
Have you just talk about Lego? Sorry, jump in there. Have you seen the Ghostbusters fire station?
Yeah.
What?
I've got the Ghostbusters car.
Well, I got the Ecto one as soon as that came out, because I was just like, yeah, it has to be done.
I've not built it yet. I've built the wee men, but I've not built the car.
It kind of reaffirmed my love for Lego. It's been a long time, and I thought, I'm going to treat myself and do the adult thing and buy a piece of Lego and sit there making the Lego. But no, that firehouse station looks amazing.
Oh, I bought the X-Wing, which I built, and I bought that sort of transporter as well.
I wasn't sold on that. I think that was a bit to me, but the X-Wing does.
The transporter's great. It's got these wee hidden compartments in it and stuff, and you turn the wee knob and he pops out holding the gun. It's cool. Okay. It's really good. I like the transporter. What else is coming out? Zombie. It's coming out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Remember Zombie U?
Zombie U, yes.
But it's got the zombie, it's called.
It'd be interesting how that comes across. It should be good. It was a good game. It was a good game on the Wii U.
Apparently The Witness is down here as well. I don't know if that's coming out or not. But that could be really good. That looks interesting. But I don't know if it is out this month. I've got my doubts. We'll see. Rise of Tomb Raider for PC, 28th of January. So if you missed out on that in Xbox, then it's for PC. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people grab that.
So there's some DLC coming out the other day.
Yeah, there was some DLC. There was word of DLC anyway.
Yeah. Turn up the Xbox so it pop up. Yeah.
Sebastian Loeb Rally as well. That's out 29th of January. Also, that's about it for the month. This War of Mine, that's out near the end of the month. We'll have a review for that next week as well. So yeah.
Did I see Minecraft for the Wii U mentioned recently.
Yeah, that's out now. That's out.
Yeah, it's out already, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
Just
that's
because
it.
I've played it on every other version of whatever you have in the house. I think even the fridge can play Minecraft now, so the fact that Wii's finally got it's quite impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they finally got it, didn't they? That was my thought, just before we wrap up. My thought is, you were saying about Microsoft releasing a big game that could make the Xbox pure mega popular again. What about Minecraft 2?
yeah, well, that is true. I mean,
if they made that exclusive and brought it out on Xbox One,
that would work for them.
Surely it would fly.
Yeah, and none of this special sort of Xbox Microsoft Glass thing that they're thinking of. Do it for the console.
They've got to have thought of that. They've got to have thought, Minecraft 2 will make us have... But then, if they don't bring it out on PC, and they don't bring it out on mobile, and they don't bring it out on PlayStation, would it really be as popular?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because obviously
the joy of Minecraft was the fact it was so just... It was... the Android version was pretty good considering it was on an Android.
Yeah, the thing about Minecraft is it's everywhere. That's why it sold so many. I mean, on PC it sold... I'm pretty sure it sold the most on PC. So if they never brought it out on PC, they'd be foolish. So I don't know. Anyway, that's it. We're done.
That's it.
We'll be back next week. So, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a nice review.
Send in some questions and stuff for next time.
And you can also subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/ShopTo. Thanks for listening to UK's Best Game Podcast, in my eyes. Okay. Yeah, nice way to finish there. Thanks a lot. Bye.